and welcome to today's practice. Today we're going to do a real quick flow, just a lot of standing postures, get into, open up some hips and get into lizard pose. If you have it and like to use them, a couple of blocks would be helpful. If not, that is perfectly okay. You can still do the moves without having any kind of props with you. Go ahead and meet me at the top of the mat in mountain pose. We're going to go ahead and just really spread your feet, your toes wide, really root down through the four corners of your feet and get yourself a really good, strong foundation here. And go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. Let's just start with a little bit of breathing here in mountain pose. Really get yourself solid on your footing and gently just start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Get yourself centered for this practice today. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. Let's just do that for a few more times. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. One last time, in through the nose, and exhale. Last time on your inhale, open your eyes. Inhale your hands up. Exhale down through heart center. Come into a forward fold. Feels good. I like to leave a little bend in my knees for my forward folds just because my back and my hamstrings are pretty tight. On an inhale, lift up halfway. Really get yourself a little bit of extension through the back from your crown all the way out through the tailbone. Exhale down. And inhale all the way back up. Exhale down through heart center right here. Oh, okay, let's do that a few more times, get ourselves warmed up. Inhale, hands up. Exhale down, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale down. Again, root to rise. Really get yourself a good base as you rise up. Hands down through heart center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale down. Inhale up halfway. Exhale down. And last time, root to rise and up. And hands down through heart center. Now inhale your arms up. And this time I want you to take your right hand and gently grab your left wrist. We're just going to do a nice little side bend. So give yourself a nice long length in your spine and gently inhale yourself over to the right. And just stay here for a few breaths as we stretch out our side body. One more. Next inhale, come back up through center. Release the clasp on that hand and gently, with your left hand, grab your right wrist and gently bend over to the left side. Anyway, so we're just going to kind of breathe into that side body, give ourselves a nice stretch. One more. Inhale yourself back up and exhale down. Whew. Shake out those hands. Get a little blood circulating back into the arms again. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down through heart center. And from here, we're just going to gently make our way into downward dog. This is going to be our first down dog of the practice, so be gentle. Give yourself a little bit of bend in the knees. Walk your feet out if you want. Let's get a little bit of movement going in our legs. Make sure that you're wrapping your arms, your armpits in. There we go. Another breath here. All right. We're going to inhale with our right leg and gently place it forward. And we're going to come down into a nice low lunge. Now we're going to keep our hands on the ground here. Get yourself situated. Make sure you get a nice firm foundation between your legs. And we're going to do a little bit of movement. We want to really start to warm up our hips and our legs here. So on an inhale, we're going to inhale ourselves back and give ourselves a nice stretch. Is that right? An inhale? Maybe. Exhale yourself forward. That way we're opening up our hip flexors right through here. Inhale yourself back. Try to keep your hips squared. Don't let them flip out. You really want to try to keep them squared as you're doing these. Inhale forward. Let's do that a few more times. Move backwards. And forward. One more. Let's go back. Let's really give it a nice little stretch here for the back of our hamstrings. This will help us open up a little bit, get a little warm as we get into lizard here in a few minutes. All right. Okay. Plant your hands. Plant your hands and come on back into down dog. Let's recenter ourselves here. Let's breathe. And now we're going to do this on the left side. So take your left leg and move it forward up into a low lunge. Gently put the knee back on your back knee on the ground. Okay, keep your hands on the mat. Get yourself situated. And again, let's go through some of those movements. So gently come on back. And stretching through the hamstring here on this leg. And forward, opening up the hip flexor on the right side. And gently back. Forward. Opening that up. Let's do this a few more times. Back. And forward. There we go. That's starting to feel really good. Starting to get that little warmth in our hips here. Okay, plant your hands again. Let's come back into a downward dog. All right, now from here, let's just do this on the right side. Bring your right foot forward. And plant the knee, left knee down. We're going to come into a revolved twist. So from here, if you have a block and you'd like to use it, this is a good spot to use that block. If you don't have a block or don't want to use it, that's perfectly fine. So you can plant your left hand on the ground next to your right foot or up on the block. And we're just going to gently twist and do a revolve twist over to the right side. And we'll stay here for just a few breaths. Start losing the balance a little bit there. All right, and then exhale, bring your hand back down, remove your block. And actually from here, now we're going to get into lizard. So your right foot, kind of walk it out to the edge of the mat, put it at a nice angle, about a 45-degree angle, and come into lizard pose here. Now from lizard, there's several options that you can choose on how deep you want to get this posture. You can stay right here. You can go down on your elbows if you have the flexibility, and if that's in your practice to go down, that's perfectly fine. Or you can be like me, and I'm just going to go ahead and use blocks and come down onto my elbows, on my forearms, down here into lizard pose. And we're just going to sit here for a few breaths and really open up our hips here. Remember to breathe while you're going through this posture. If you need to adjust yourself, adjust. If you gone a little too deep, back out of it, it's okay. Do what's right for you today. So just a few more breaths here. Definitely feeling my hips opening up here. This feels good. All right, come back up onto your forearm or your hands. Remove the blocks if you have them. Walk that foot back in and lift up on the left side and come back into down dog. Let's go ahead and just sit here for just a few breaths and just recenter ourselves. Use this as a nice calming, restorative posture for just a moment, just to get ourselves back and situated. Okay, so now let's do this on the other side. So bring your left foot forward and right knee down. Remember, we're going to go into the twist on this side, so if you want to use a block, feel free. If not, just plant your hand next to your foot, your right hand, and gently we're going to twist over to the left. There we go. Hold my foot out and give myself a little bit more stability here. And exhale your hands down. Move that block for a moment. Bring your hand, your left hand to the inside of the left foot and gently walk that left foot out. Again, coming into the edge of the mat, kind of a 45-degree angle, and getting ready for lizard pose. So again, you have options. You can stay here. You can go down on your elbows, or your forearms, I guess, or go onto the blocks on your forearms as well. Again, whatever's going to be within your practice for you to do. We're going to just stay here for a few moments and open up our hips. Great stretch for the hip flexors. Try not to let your knee splay way out. Let's, try to keep it in within your body. Keep it in alignment so it's not going to hurt your hips here. A few more breaths here. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, let's come on back up. You're down on your elbows. If you have the blocks, go ahead and set those aside. Walk your foot back in. Let's come back into our final down dog. Wrap your armpits, your biceps towards your ears. Really just give yourself a moment here. It feels good. If you want to, let's just walk our dog out just a little bit. Let's get a little more stretch in those legs today. There we go. All right. And then now let's all meet down in child's pose. I'm going to do a nice wide-legged child's pose. I like to bring my big toes together, spread my knees wide, and come down. And let's just sit here for a moment. Make any adjustments that you need just to settle in for a few breaths. That feels good. Okay, let's go ahead and meet on our backs. And bring your knees into your chest. You're gonna give yourself a little bit of a rock back and forth. That feels really good. Now let's do a little bit more, opening up those hips. Let's come into a nice happy baby. So bring your arms to the inside of the knees, grab the knife edge of your foot, and gently bring your hands or your knees out towards in towards your armpits. Try and keep your tailbone down towards the ground. Don't let it raise up too much. You can keep it down on the ground. That's great. You can even rock back and forth a little bit. Really just open this up one last time. Bring your knees back into your chest. And let's put our knees down on the ground. Spread your knees or your feet, about not quite as wide as the mat, I guess. And gently, let's do some windshield wipers. Let's release that back a little bit from all the hip opening. And just gently moving back and forth. Do this for a few breaths. Pause if you find a spot that really needs a little bit more stretch. Go ahead and pause. Do this at your own pace. If you want to go a little faster, that's okay. You need to go a little slower, that's perfectly fine. And just stretch everything out here. There we go, that feels super good. Okay. Bring your knees back up. And let's do one final big long stretch. Extend your legs. Extend your arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice, big, deep breath as you really stretch yourself out. And sigh out the mouth. And now, find your spot. Your arms down by your side, your feet spread open a little bit, and enjoy this final few moments in Shavasana. Gently close your eyes. Take a few nice deep breaths and then just relax. When you're ready, just inhale your arms up overhead. Gently roll over onto your side, whichever side you prefer. Come into a fetal pose position. There you go. One last little moment. And then with your eyes still closed, gently make your way up into an easy seated pose. There we go. This feels so good. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale down through heart center. Namaste. Gently open your eyes and welcome back. That was a great little practice today. Thank you for joining me.